In this problem, I will be using dimensional analysis to convert a rate. We are told a nitroglycerin drip is infusing at 5 milliliters every hour. The solution that's being infused has 50 milligrams of nitroglycerin and 250 milliliters of D5W. We need to determine how many micrograms per minute is infusing. I know in this example, or in any example where I'm converting rates, that I'm going to have to start somewhere. I'm going to have to start with some rate, some piece of information that I know. And right now, the only thing that I know relative to a rate is that the nitroglycerin is infusing at 5 milliliters every 1 hour. That's what I know to be happening right now. When I am done converting using dimensional analysis, what I want at the end, not a unit of milliliters per hour, but micrograms per minute. Micrograms per minute. That's what I want. Looking at this problem, I see I need to somehow change milliliters into micrograms, and I also need to change hours into a unit of minutes. I'm going to start there at the hours and minutes because that is an easier conversion. With dimensional analysis, I would need to eliminate hours by placing that unit in the numerator of my next factor, and I would be converting hours into minutes. The conversion between hours and minutes is 1 hour, 60 minutes. By multiplying by 1 over 60, I would be changing hours into a unit of minutes. Now, I need to somehow change milliliters into micrograms. If I look up at the problem, I see the information that's provided to me about the milliliters. I have 250 milliliters, and in that 250 milliliters, I have 50 milligrams. So with dimensional analysis, with the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 250 milliliters and I'm going to convert that into a number of milligrams because that is a ratio that I'm given in this example. So I'm going to change milliliters in order to cancel out milliliters because I know I'm going to have to eliminate it somehow. I'm going to eliminate milliliters by writing it in the denominator of another factor. And I'm going to go from milliliters to milligrams because that's what I know in this example. I know the ratio of milligrams to milliliters. There are 50 milligrams of nitroglycerin in 250 milliliters. What would happen is that the milliliters will cancel. If I were to stop right now, I would know the total number of milligrams the patient's receiving every minute. A common mistake is for students to, when they need to go from milliliters to milligrams or vice versa, is to reach for the conversions to memorize sheet. There is no universal conversion from milliliters to milligrams. They are completely different. Milligrams is a measure of mass. Milliliters is a measure of volume. What we need to go between from one to the other is what's available to us. What's the strength or the concentration of the drug, which is what I used up above. I mentioned a second ago that I would have milligrams per minute if I were to stop right now, but we want micrograms per minute. There is a universal conversion from milligrams to micrograms. This is the metric system. We're talking about grams here. We know that 1 milligram is made up of 1,000 micrograms. So by adding that next factor, I would convert milligrams into micrograms. In the numerator, I would have 5 times 50 times 1,000. So 5 times 50 times 1,000 gives me 250,000. And the unit up above there would be micrograms. So 250,000 micrograms are being infused over, if you multiply the denominators, 15,000 minutes. Now that's not very nice. I mean, it's true, that's the answer, but it's not completely simplified. It's not very helpful to know that there's 250,000 micrograms going in every 15,000 minutes. So what we'll do instead is simplify these. So if you take 250,000 and you divide that by 15,000, you're going to get, in this problem, 16.6 repeating. We're going to round this to 16.7 micrograms per minute. So again, in this problem, I started with a rate that I knew to be true. The nitroglycerin was infusing at 5 milliliters every hour. I changed the hours into minutes. I then, realizing that I could go from milliliters to milligrams, did that, and then used my knowledge of the metric system to get into micrograms.